Vritra is a 5-star Lancer Servant in FGO. She's also quite an interesting character. Well, that is according to myself anyway. So let's just get into her. Into it, not into her. Two very different conversations. Vritra was pretty recently introduced, and I planned on making a video about her then. However, I was pretty sick with a pretty bad chest infection. So we'll do it now. Because I think I still want to talk about her. So first of all, her design. She has 3 very attractive ascensions. And it's also a quite unique take on any servant. She doesn't really have much similarities to other servants in terms of her design. She's very, unique. The veil, all that. Pretty solid ascensions. Going from the full dress with the veil to, taking off some of that. And then with the armor at the third ascension. Oh, I love her design. Now her gameplay. She's a AoE Earth Lancer, of which there are many in the game. And unfortunately for her, the 4-star variants are superior. Does flat out in terms of looping anyway. She does hit a bit harder, but considering for the most part AoE servants are going to be clearing waves and looping, they do that better. Not that she really struggles to loop all that much, considering Castoria basically makes any Earth servant goated. But in very specific instances, if you're going to be using a Lancer, it may be better to use Melt or Percival. With all that being said, she does have a pretty solid kit, but she does need a buff to something to make her more viable or more competitive with the 4-star Lancers. Probably something like making her NP damage up more than just 1 turn and make that 3 turns. Now, a big part for me. Oh, character. In the event that she just appeared on, the English version of the game, she basically stole Christmas, which on Indian dragon, it doesn't really make much sense. So when you get into it, you're wondering how are they going to tie this back to her mythological roots, and they do that through a series of events of basically describing Vritra's driving goals in all things, from her mythological appearances to her appearances in game, as her liking to see humans and gods struggling to complete objectives. It's quite an interesting take from a villain, I suppose, although she's not exactly evil, but she simply stole Christmas to make Santa Kona and Master of Chaldea have a challenge to overcome for her own enjoyment. Like, she doesn't do it out of the goodness of her heart, but it's not like she's trying to she's not trying to mess with them and not give them a chance to fight back, as she, actively appears before them, gives them plenty of time to become strong enough to fight her, and she's quite content when she is defeated. She doesn't hold any resentment towards Kona or the Master of Chaldea. She is also, if I say so myself, incredibly cute with some of her mannerisms. Especially when you go to fight her for the last time and you show up and she's there rolling around in the snow, bored, waiting for Chaldea to show up. So she's not just a vicious brute. She's also a playful and very cute dragon. In addition to this, Vritra, due to her nature as wishing to be an obstacle to humanity and the gods, kind of has a, and this is going to sound a bit pretentious, similar role, like the opposite role of Ganesha, which I'm not just pulling this out my ass like I'm some, well, actually this is such a highbrow entertainment. This is just called up in her profile. In profile 6, it just straight up compares her to Ganesha, which, personally, I wouldn't have compared the two. But it makes sense to be kind of the opposite of Ganesha, who absolutely, based on her feats, I say feats, her feat that she performed to help humanity overcome its greatest obstacle in Last Spell 4, it's not unfounded. But I wish in the future, if Vritra is used again, they build upon that. They show off her kind of being the opposite of Ganesha in some way. Maybe an event where her and Ganesha appear together. But until that happens, I'm just going to be happy that the beautiful Schneck waifu is in the game. I think it's too late to tell you to summon for her, but if you manage to pull her, because she is permanent, I think she is worth raising, at least to see the pretty art. And I think that's all that matters. You should love my waifu just as much as I love all the waifus in this game, because there are so many, and Vritra just adds to the list. And my pulls went terribly to 900 Saints Courts. I got 2 copies of her, which doesn't sound bad, but I was hoping to get NP5 or as close as possible to it. At least NP3 to, get up to level 120. But hopefully over time I'll manage to pull that off, like I have kind of done on JP, with her being NP4. Over time, just constantly being spooked. But that's about all. I'm gonna check out, and I'm gonna see y'all later